So these are all the LEGO MOCs I made in 2025. Some of them were absolutely joy to build, and some of them really make me seriously question my life choices, which is exactly why today we are counting down my top 5 LEGO MOCs of the year. Hey guys, welcome back to Building Creations. Hold on, last year you did a top 10. Why are we down to top 5 now? Because a few builds this year took way longer than expected. And no, that is not me being lazy. Alright, let's start the countdown. At number 5 is this picnic basket I specifically designed for this summer. The kind you put on the grass and almost convince yourself you're actually having a brunch with Lego. I used the 32x32 base plate to recreate a picnic blanket, then using 1x2 rounded plates to build this woven style picnic basket. Inside the basket, all the classic picnic essentials: plates, a small camera, and a bunch of canned food. Around it, there's a flower basket, a vintage radio, a fully detailed tea set, and drinks. For the food, I mainly took inspiration from bakery. Along with the snacks, there are sliced cakes and more different kind of cakes. Since this is a static display set, no matter how big the scale is, what really matters is refinement and detail. And this was actually the first time in years that I took one of my mods outside to shoot it and film it, which led to quite a few funny moments along the way. If you want to see all those details and behind the scene moments, just click here to watch the full video. So at number 4 is this motorized, space-themed LEGO pinball machine. Originally, I just want to give these space little builds a permanent home, but somehow that turned into a build I worked on and off for 3 months, with a lot of excitement and a lot of second-guessing myself. It took so long because there's a ton of mechanism underneath. Everything has to move together, but never interfere with the pinball. My personal favorites are the rubber band space flippers, the gravity-driven rocket seesaw, and those 2 space monsters, a full pinball return system, and even a coin-operated start. Add in all the micro details: space base, rovers, satellites, and if it belongs in space, I probably already squeeze in. This pinball machine balances functionality and fun. The full breakdown video is linked here. Come experience this colorful, chaotic pinball space adventure. Taking the 3rd place is this Santa and the Day of Reindeer's adventure. This Santa is a little different. He's a bit punk, a bit of rebellious, and his reindeer picked the busiest time of the year to take a day off. Just like I'm out, I started with Santa himself. Building characters are always my favorite part, and this time I went with a cute, big-headed proportion. For the vehicle, I ditched the classic style and replaced it with an industrial-style mini bike, as well as the sleigh behind it, to really push that contrast. With the reindeer has already put on sunglasses and gone full holiday mode. I didn't want this to be just a static display, so I added a simple but very effective motion system. The wheels drive each other, and the sleigh moves back and forth in sync. It's a build that fits my personal style perfectly. I hope this build brings you a little holiday joy at the end of the year. So taking the 2nd place is this synthwave-inspired, fully looping mock Sunset Racer. This build combines synthwave music, heavy retro vibes, and a continuous motion system. You've got a giant pixelated sunset, a Leon City skyline, palm trees, and a retro sports car paired with the iconic synthwave music. This build got way more love than I expected. At the core of the build is a looping mechanism that keeps the road moving forward. The car itself is actually stationary, but when you combine the moving road with the giant sunset, it creates the illusion that you are speeding down a sunset highway. Honestly, the popularity of this build really surprised me. On paper, synthwave visuals and LEGO don't sound like a match, but this crossover somehow just worked. When you look at it, do you also feel the summer breeze? And as for why this is the number 1, well, let's just say the top spot is on another level. So taking the top spot of the year is this. I call it Cyberpunk Marble Run City Adventure. This ranking might surprise a lot of people, and some of you might not even be that familiar with this build. That's because out of all my major projects this year, this is the only one that never got a full long breakdown video. This build is a highly detailed cyberpunk miniature city, combined with a GBC system, aka LEGO's Great Ball contraption. The marbles act like vehicles. They start from a single point, then randomly enter one of 4 pre-designed routes, passing different streets and environments. In the end, They all flow into a river that wraps around the city before being carried by a motorized transport system back to the start, launching them into a completely different adventure every cycle. I spent about 3 months on this build, and honestly, the hardest part isn't the city you see on the outside. It's all the hidden routing inside. From point A to B, B to C, every section writes the same question: slope, steps, vertical drop, pretty much every path you can imagine. The debugging phase was brutal. There were so many moments where I think, wait, why are the marbles getting fewer and fewer? Only to realize they were all jammed up deep inside the structure. Then I clear one blockage, and suddenly everything are coming out at once. And honestly, for someone building a GBC for the first time with zero engineering background, this project was way beyond my comfort zone. The entire process was full of self-doubt. On top of that, this kind of build is almost impossible to fully plan on computer. Everything was built completely by hand. Some of the internal structure was so specific that if you ask me to take them apart and rebuild them today, I am not even sure I could. And hopefully, now you can see why this earned top 1. This is without a doubt my most satisfying build so far and my undisputed build of the year. Looking back on this year, I'll be honest, I didn't make a huge number of projects, but every single one was about quality, not quantity. I've already got a few plans for next year, alongside some larger projects. I'll also be mixing some fun and playful smaller builds, and I'd really love to hear from you. Drop a comment and let me know what kind of topic you want to see, or which type of content you really enjoy the most. And before we wrap up, I want to ask you one last thing. Compared to my 2024 builds, do you think my 2025 project shows a little bit of progress? Wishing you all a happy new year, and I will see you in 2026. Bye!